Grandpa's cane. The old man's hand trembled slightly as he reached for his cane, its polished wood worn smooth from years of use. To everyone else it was just an old stick, a symbol of weakness and age. But to 12-year-old Liam, it was something worse. It was embarrassing. "Come on, Grandpa," Liam sighed one Saturday afternoon, waiting by the door. "Do you have to bring that thing everywhere?" Grandpa smiled softly. "It helps me walk, son." "Yeah, but we're just going to the park." You barely moved 10 steps before sitting down. The old man said nothing. He simply picked up his cane, adjusted his flat cap, and followed his grandson out the door. At the park, kids were running, jumping, shouting. Liam wanted to join, but every time he glanced back at his grandfather, slowly making his way down the path, he felt a mix of irritation and pity. He turned to his friends. "That's my grandpa. He's old. Needs a cane for everything." The other boys laughed politely, not out of cruelty, but because they didn't know what else to do. Grandpa heard them, though he pretended not to. He sat on a bench, hands resting on the cane's curved handle, eyes quietly watching the children play. That evening, as they walked home, Liam noticed a scratch on the cane's base. "Why don't you just get a new one? This thing looks ancient." Grandpa ran his hand over the wood. "Some things aren't meant to be replaced, Liam. They remind us where we've been." Liam rolled his eyes. "It's just a stick." Grandpa smiled again, but this time it didn't quite reach his eyes. "Someday, maybe you'll understand." A week later, Liam's mother called him into the living room. Her voice was quiet, the way people sound when they're trying not to cry. "Grandpa's in the hospital," she said. "He fell this morning." Liam's heart sank. For the first time, the image of his grandpa struggling with that cane flashed through his mind, and guilt crept in like a shadow. At the hospital, Grandpa looked smaller, weaker, lying in the white bed. The cane leaned against the wall beside him. Liam sat down, not sure what to say. "Hey, champ," Grandpa said softly, smiling through the pain. "Looks like I tripped over my own 2 feet. Are you okay?" "I'll be fine. Just a broken hip. Nothing time can't fix." Liam hesitated. "Grandpa, can I see your cane?" Grandpa nodded. Liam lifted it carefully, tracing the grooves and scratches. Near the top, faint letters were carved into the wood, barely visible. "What's this?" he asked. "That," Grandpa said quietly, "was my unit's name, from the war." Liam looked up, stunned. "You were in the war?" Grandpa chuckled. "You never asked." He took a deep breath, eyes turning distant. "This cane isn't just for walking. It was carved from the handle of my rifle. After the war ended, I didn't need a weapon anymore. I needed something to hold on to, something to remind me of my friends who never came back." Liam's throat tightened. You fought in a war and never told me?" "I didn't think it mattered," Grandpa whispered. "But every step I take with this cane, I remember them. Every scratch has a story. That's why I keep it." Liam looked at the old wood again, his hands trembling. The embarrassment he'd once felt turned into something else. Shame, awe, and heartbreak all at once. He reached out and held his grandfather's hand. "I'm sorry, Grandpa. I didn't know." Grandpa squeezed his hand weakly. "It's all right, son. We all learn to see things differently when we're ready." Weeks later, Grandpa passed away quietly in his sleep. The house felt heavier without him, the air still carrying the scent of his aftershave and the echo of his laugh. At the funeral, the cane rested beside the coffin, standing proudly like a silent soldier. Liam couldn't take his eyes off it. When the ceremony ended, he walked up to it, tears spilling down his face. He picked up the cane, feeling the weight of it in his hand. More than just wood. It was history, sacrifice, love. He whispered, "I'll take care of it, Grandpa. I promise." Years passed. Liam grew up, married, and had a son of his own. The cane stood in a glass case in their living room. Whenever guests asked about it, Liam would tell them about the man who carried it, the war hero who taught him what strength really meant. And every time his son looked at the cane and asked, "Dad, why do you keep that old stick?" Liam would smile softly and say, "Because it once helped a hero walk." Then, after a pause, he'd add quietly, "And one day, it helped me grow up."